and welcome to Tales of the Astral, where our adventurers will be exploring the mysteries of the Astral Plane. The known universe is thousands of worlds. Some use tech to fly and thrive in space, others use magic, and some use a mix of the two. Welcome to a world of spaceships and spellcasters, lasers and lutes, gravity and gods, and everything the stars have to offer. We ask the question, if any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, then what does it mean for a world where both coexist? We will start out with little introductions of who we are and what we're playing. If we want to start left to right, top to bottom, we will start with Amy.
Hi, my name is Amy. My pronouns are she, her, and I am playing Aster, pronouns they, them, an Eladrin peace cleric. And I've never played a cleric before, so I'm excited.
Wonderful.
Hi, I'm Charlotte. Pronouns are she, her. I'm playing Ware, whose pronouns are it, they, an autognome druid.
Wonderful.
Hello. I'm Danielle. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm playing Mayor, Eddie pronouns. They are a paladin gift.
My name is Becca. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm playing Helionyx, they, them. They are an artificer, monk, multiclass, and an astral elf.
I am Bee, they, them, and I am playing Iker, who uses he/they/it pronouns. Iker is a plasmoid warlock.
Hi, I'm Jen. My pronouns are they, them, and I'll be playing Snap, who goes by he, they, and he is a tabaxi fighter.
And I am your DM for this wild ride. And we have a little intro video to introduce everybody to our universe. As long as I can find it. Let's give everyone a little rundown on the world as we know it. We are exploring the Astral Plane, which consists of wild space, the Astral Sea, and many other domains and oddities. The known universe is thousands of worlds, stars, and planetary systems that exist in space. Wild space, to be exact. In this wild space, things work as we expect them to in our outer space. It is a vacuum without air, and gravity is created by celestial bodies. Basically, anything an astronomer or astrophysicist of our world would expect. Well, except for the spacefaring species of whales and other creatures, the magic that can create gravity and air and even whole worlds, and of course the strange astral sea that lies just outside of our known universe, a place out of time and some might say reality. The universe is vast, but it is full. Interplanetary groups vie for power. Some societies purposefully exist outside of time in the astral sea, and some are in it for the good of all. The inhabitants of our universe have used technology and magic to become spacefaring and create interplanetary and even intergalactic connections. Some cultures are completely technological, others outlawed in favor of magic, and the rest, well, they're happy to mix and match. Welcome, Space Cadets. Hello. We will start our journey in the Astral Sea. It is a place of clouds and confusion. No air, no real sense of time. You don't feel yourself aging or anything like that. And we find ourselves with Helionyx, who is floating in the Astral Sea. You've been floating for kind of longer than you can remember. You don't really see stars around you. There are rainbow clouds that obscure anything beyond a few hundred feet. You know that you haven't felt hunger or thirst since you were lost in this sea. Who do we see floating in this space? What do they look like? What are they doing?
So, Helionyx is about 5'8". They have sort of this white that turns a little bit to like a blue periwinkle down at the bottom hair, where it's long on one side, short on the other. They have what sort of looks like space armor, sort of to say. It's sort of like a armored jacket, but it's just sort of like plastic. It's more for looks than actual protection. And a lot of like gadgetry. They have sort of like metallic gauntlets. They have this long quarterstaff that they're currently just sort of hugging and leaning their head on as they float out here, just sort of putting all of their body weight on it. And they have this little mechanical dragon named Ion. It's sort of this black metallic with a couple of splashes of neon on it. And they're just sort of staring at the dragon. They just named it, and they're just sort of looking at it and looking out at the clouds, at the sea. And when they close their eyes, they still see the same thing behind their eyes as when they open it. They don't remember physically being anywhere else than this moment since it's been so long. And they sort of look at their dragon. They're like, "It's nice to meet you. I'm Helionyx, and you're Ion because I just made you a second ago." And they had picked up a piece of asteroid and sort of formed this little dragon around it. And the asteroid's the heart of the dragon.
Yes. You see that there is this little mechanical dragon who is kind of like moving his wings out, like trying to test, see moving all around, and you see these like gears shift within him, pronouns for this mechanical creature.
He, it, probably.
I don't know why. I just thought he for this little beautiful dragon.
He's a little guy.
Yes. Wonderful. You are, it does start to get a little monotonous, a little strange, and probably an experience that most people will never be able to really fathom. But you see something very different. It is shocking. You see a dark shape in the multicolored clouds around you. Something looks like it is kind of darting or swimming towards you. It's some like dark, strange figure that as it gets closer, it's pretty big, and it seems to have something like growing off of its back.
So Helionyx hasn't seen another living thing in probably like at least 10 years. And so they're going to grab their staff where they're holding it and sort of like push themselves in a way where it's in front of them, but they're still not really doing anything. They don't really know what even to do in this situation.
It starts to come closer and closer as it kind of crosses that final line of clouds. You see a large 6-foot-long goldfish. It's got big dark eyes that reflect the pastels around it, and what looked like a growth is actually a person who is riding this fish. Amy, would you like to introduce your character and tell us what they look like and what they're doing?
Yeah, so you see someone who looks, elven in their features, very long, flowing, dark reddish, brownish hair that's kind of like autumnal, I suppose. And they've got dark skin, yellow, orangey, sort of hazel type eyes that are like, they kind of change color like autumn leaves, sort of. And it's kind of hard to tell how old they are. Like, they look a little bit young, but also old at the same time. There's like a youthful joy, but like an ageless wisdom kind of that they've got going on. A long yellow dress. And they're just, chilling on the back of this space guppy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do I? Hello?
Oh, hey. How's it going?
What
What are you doing out here?
Oh, what am I doing out here? Nothing, I guess. I'm doing nothing. Can I?
Do you need a ride somewhere?
Oh, yeah. That would be great if it's not too big of a problem.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, maybe just ask this one if it's okay, and then I'll just pat the head of the space guppy.
Mhm.
Ask the fish. I can ask the fish. Hello, fish. Can I have a ride?
You see that the fish kind of like moves, very, very similar to swimming. There's no water around you. You see its beautiful fins go out. It kind of like looks at you like square in the face, like eye to eye, with these like huge eyes, and its head is about like 2 feet tall. And it seems to like kind of like really intensely look at you, although it's hard to tell without pupils. And it kind of butts its head against you and then like pulls up alongside to make it easier for Aster to help you on top of this big ass fish.
I guess that's an okay then.
Yeah. I hope you weren't heading anywhere in particular, because I still don't really know where this guy's going.
Oh, no, not anywhere in particular. It's nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Helionics.
Nice. I'm Aster.
Cool.
Well, we're in for a bit of a ride. I don't even know how long I've been on the back of this guy, but you know, we're heading somewhere. That's something.
That is something. I haven't been headed somewhere in a while, so
I'm sure you've been heading somewhere. Maybe it's just taken a little longer than usual.
maybe. This is Ion, by the way.
What was that?
Ion. It's
Ion.
Ion. Yes.
What the hell is that? That is so cool.
Oh, he's a little dragon. I made him.
Nice.
Mhm.
That's pretty cool. I made this too, and then I just point to like all of the jewelry that you now notice is like adorning my body. I've got tons of bracelets, necklaces, some earrings, and it's all just like pieces of space junk, like bits of tech, like scavenged like rocks and flowers, and like got some like fossilized earrings and stuff, and just all sorts of different little pieces that are totally like shittily handmade, but like I'm just wearing them all.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. You're very talented.
I don't think it does anything special like fly like that thing, but you know,
Oh.
it's fun.
You don't have to
It's a way to
fly
pass
be
the
special.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just along for the ride now?
Yeah, wherever you're going, that would be great. I haven't gone anywhere in a while. So like
Cool.
food maybe? Could we stop somewhere and get food? Do you have food?
Do I have food? That is an excellent question.
Um,
But hey, let's just see where this guy takes us. I'm sure he's got to eat at some point at least.
Yeah, it is. It is this interesting plan of you know that you don't have to eat in the astral sea. Whether you choose to is your decision. But you don't have to. But you also know that as soon as you leave that like liminal space between the astral sea and wild space, you will most likely be hungry after however long you've spent in these areas. I think it makes sense to me that Aster would have some food. Just
Okay.
It seemed like a pretty prepared traveler.
Okay. I'm just used to wandering around, so I always just have something on me. So I'll give you a little something, you know, just to hold us over while we figure out where this guy's taking us.
Thank you. This is great. This is really cool. Thank you.
Wonderful. And as our camera kind of like zooms out as we see you two on top of this beautiful goldfish going through these pastel clouds, we this is the first time, Helionyx, that it has been that you have like seen another person. It's been a very long time. And it reminds you of what you used to, some of the last memories you have with other people. We zoom in. Did we ever discuss the name of your... Oh, yes! We zoom into Amadora Station. Of course. A floating asteroid that has been turned into a space station. And we see just so much, a world filled with technology. There's little arcana around, but there is magic everywhere, just from pure science and engineering. You are entering that period where everybody in your society goes on their Star Walk to go out into the world. How is Helionyx feeling? This is... Oh, I should have said, this is decades ago. Helionyx might have trouble remembering exactly how many decades, but it has been a very long time since this memory.
Yeah, so Helionyx in this moment is very frantic. They're sort of just running around, grabbing everything they think they might have forgotten, and then putting it in their bag, and then taking it out, being like, no, I don't need that. That's going to be too heavy. No, I need this. Actually, no, I need this. I'm going to forget this. So they're sort of just freaking out, having a really panicked time as they're running around, sort of like their living spaces, which is sort of like this weird house built into the side of the part of the asteroid they live on.
Wonderful. You are rushing around. You see in the center of the room, kind of on this long, like, nice couch, are your 3 parents. You'll see in a second. There we go. You see Solus, Gardine, and Toma. Toma is looking like a little worried about your frantic experience at the moment. You see Gardine is looking just like kind of excited, and you see that Solus is looking just a little tearful, a little sad. Yeah.
I think that Helionyx is so in their own head that they're not even gonna like notice they're there until they just fully run into one of them, like maybe trips over their feet and the contents of their bag just sort of spills out on the ground. They're like, oh, hi, mom, dad, parent, nice to see you. Sorry, I'm just getting everything ready right now. Yeah.
You see Toma say, so you've got everything you need? Do we need to go over a checklist again? Is everything okay?
No, like I got the color-coded checklist you gave me, and I did check it three times with you, and then once by myself. So I think I'm good. But thank you. Yeah.
Just you've done a lot of prep. It's gonna be okay. Like, I think you've got this. Once you get out there, start exploring the universe, seeing all the tech out there, and making your own ship, you'll feel right at home.
Okay, I'm excited. I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. You see Gardine, who's kind of like an astral elf. He's got kind of shaved sides of his head, and he's got mechanical type clothes on with big goggles. And he kind of like, they kind of put their hand on your back and say, I know you're gonna have so much fun out there.
Yeah. I know. It'll be fun. Yeah, that's what everyone says, that it'll be fun, and I'm sure it will.
It's a great time. I miss those days. I miss my Star Walk. That was great.
Yeah, well, I'm lucky that I at least have, Ellen Keela to go with, so I won't be on my own.
Yes. Yeah. You're gonna do great. And as you look over, you see that Solus has got like there's some tears coming down. He seems to just be kind of like quiet, looking at you. He's got a nice like manicured beard, very like nice outfit, little astral elf.
I think Helionyx is gonna see Solus and then take a second and then realize that Solus is crying a little bit, and Helionyx is just gonna sort of like go over and just stand in front of him for a second and then just give him like a really big hug.
So he kind of just sniffles into your shoulder. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And you are led through these like kind of narrow but well-built corridors of Amadora. You find yourself in one of the bigger spaceports. There's actually kind of like this nice area because this is a rite of passage and it is an important kind of ritual. So it is a lovely waiting room where all the families and loved ones of all the people that are going on their Star Walk can kind of gather together with a large viewing window to see you all get shot out into space. Because that is what a Star Walk is. The plan is that each of you have your own little pod. You get strapped together and shot off towards an occupied system, a system that is habitated. And once you get there, it's the job to like learn about new tech, be able to build your own ship eventually, and make your way back, having experienced this great experience of your life. The next scene we see is that your families have all gathered. We see a couple of your friends and your fellow Star Walkers, Estella and Keela Nova. They are looking very excited, both of them. This has been something that they have not been able to stop talking about for like it's probably only been months, but it feels like years, with just their level of enthusiasm for this. And you also see, kind of at the head, just being there for everybody if anybody has any questions or anything, one of the Star Walk leaders, Votron, who is a older astral elf with like somewhat darker purple skin, very, very long white hair that's tinted with gray. Just kind of sitting, waiting. What does Helionyx do?
So Helionyx is gonna wave at their parents one last time and sort of make their way over to Estella and Keela Nova, which they call Elle and Keela respectively, and say, "Oh, hey, are you guys ready?"
Yeah, I'm so stoked. This has been so long. Do you feel ready, Helio? Are you doing okay?
Yeah, you know me, I'm fine. I checked the list a lot of times this morning. I'm just freaking out a little bit, but it'll be okay.
We're all
okay.
together. It's gonna be wonderful.
Everything will be fine if we're all together.
Yes. You see that Elle has this little digital device that she's brought up and is just checking like the final like information about the pods and making sure that like the flight the flight path is right, making sure everything's good. You see that Votron stands up, looks at the crowd and says, "It is time for the Star Walk to begin. If you would all walk forward and enter your pods."
And Helionyx takes one like really deep breath and looks back over their shoulder and gives one last wave and walks up to the pod and gets inside.
We see you all kind of do this ritual of lashing all your pods together and connecting yourselves that has some metaphorical implications too, of working together and the community and friendship being able to be what'll help you get through this journey. One sec. Wonderful. There we go. Wonderful. So the next thing is that we see these pods shooting off into space. It is crazy how fast you are going. It is a very strange experience. These are very basic pods. They're mostly, they have some maneuverability in case anything comes up, but for the most part, they are just a spherical space for you to be safe inside as you shoot across the galaxy towards a good solar system for you to be able to work. As this is occurring, you see that Elle has a little pop-up on her screen, and she quickly turns on her radio to talk to each of you. I think there's going to be a problem. We've got an asteroid coming. It's not a big deal. We can just use the maneuvers, we can just use a little, poof into one direction. It'll be fine.
Oh, okay. Which direction? Where's the asteroid coming from? Yeah, this is a lot. Okay.
Yes, it's coming from over there. We're gonna have to go towards the right, but don't worry, you don't have to do anything. Me and Keela we'll use our jets to just move us, and then you'll just come with us.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Okay, wonderful. So Keela counts down from 5 to 1, and you guys start to move. And as you do, you see that the these high-tech metal ropes that are lashing all of your pods together, the ones that you tied, are not behaving as they should. These metals are intended so that when they're pulled, they actually become much stronger in their knots. And yours seems to just be kind of slowly coming out, and you find yourself just slowly but terrifyingly drifting from the other two pods.
Oh no, Elle, can you hear me? I think I got disconnected.
Yeah, you can see through the pod. You can see Elle is yelling, but you have now fully disconnected from the other pods, and you are floating as you see your two friends unable to stop themselves as they are very slowly figuring out how to maneuver the ships and be able to push off in the opposite direction, but it's taking them a long time. Now you can see this asteroid coming closer towards you.
Oh no. Okay. And I think Helio's just gonna fumble around and just be like, I forgot what all of the buttons do. Why did I forget what all of the buttons do? And just choose the thing they think will help get them out of the way and try to move it.
Amazing. You start pressing buttons. You're able to move a little bit, but without the time it took to gather up that momentum. You're not able, unfortunately, to get out of the way. The asteroid hits you and sends you absolutely flying. It was going impossibly fast, even faster than you. And you see very quickly your friends fade off into the distance. You float, or not float, but fly at rapid speed for quite a long time, seeing stars and planets pass you until clouds surround you, and you feel okay. You don't feel hungry or thirsty or tired. You're just there in the astral sea.
Okay. Okay. I'm not dead. Or maybe I am dead. But I'm not dead. And Healer's gonna see if anything survived with them as they were hurtling through space, and like pat around and try and find their bag and their list and all of those things.
You do. You have everything intact. It did hit the side, which has like damaged all the mechanical systems of your pod. But you do have all the things. As we kind of fast forward through time, we see periods where different entities of the astral sea kind of interact with you. A deity here, kind of strange cosmic horror type creatures every once in a while that eventually lead to your ship pod being gone and it just being you, and eventually you and Ion together. And now we find ourselves back with you and Aster. What do we see?
This is... I know the bag just says that this is like peanuts, I think, but these are really good. Where did you get these?
You know, I don't remember.
Oh.
Picked them up somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, well, they're really good. And they're gone. Okay, cool. So you said that you don't know where we're heading, but like, we're heading somewhere. Do you know where like that somewhere might be?
I'm sure I'll find out when we get there.
Wonderful. Yeah, and we go across the galaxy. Outside of the Astral Sea, we find ourselves on a ship. We zoom in, and what do we see, B? What is your ship look like?
From the outside, the ship looks to be made mostly out of this iridescent purple crystal, except for some large brown vines serving as what looks like hallways, connecting the main body of the ship to some other like large crystal rooms. The front of the ship sports an open deck area protected by the air bubble that is produced by the plant-like parts of the ship. Zooming in on the front deck, we see the Spelljammer helm for the ship, which is a large floating orb in the center of the deck. It actively course corrects the ship even without like the direct touch of its navigator, but it currently contains a tiny goo-like creature that giggles maniacally as it swims through the air inside the globe. And towards the starboard side of the open deck, leaned against the figurehead that ornaments the bow of the ship, is the Spelljammer of this vessel, Iker. Iker is a short, chubby plasmoid. Their height varies depending on how tall they'd like to be. They form their ooze to usually stay around 3 to 4 feet tall, unless they're trying to be intimidating, in which case they will ooze themselves up a little taller. Today, he is wearing nothing except for a pirate captain's hat and combat boots, but he has a bunch of random objects stuck here and there inside his goo for decoration. Currently, Iker's hat is slid down over most of his face as he kind of like relaxes against the custom statue of his familiar that he had made, Petrie. They have a fishing pole in their hand, and they are kind of like hanging one of their legs off the edge of the ship as they're working on earning their astral fishing badge.
Amazing. We see, this beautiful ship, this wondrous person hanging out, doing some good old fishing in the astral plane in wild space. And up from below deck, we see a mayor. Or we see Mayor. Who do we see walking up these stairs onto the open deck above? Oh wait, I can't hear you.
Oh no.
Okay, now I can hear you just fine.
There you can?
Yes.
Okay, good. So Mayor is a hippo-looking race. They're a gift, and they wear lots of like pastel. And they're very old, but also kind of chubby, but in that like droopy old person way. So they're walking around all like with a clipboard in their hands, kind of like making notes of the ship.
Mm-hmm. And what we find is that Mayor is a passenger on this ship, on Captain Icker's ship. You came in late last night, didn't have a chance to meet anyone, just went straight to your quarters and conked out. And you see Icker just fishing off the side.
Can I do a quick survival check to see if I catch a fish?
Yes, I love that.
Amazing. Okay, let's do this. First roll.
Let's go.
All right, that's a 14. I don't think that gets it. I think it's 15.
Yes, I think so too. Wonderful, but it's a good time. You know, that's what's great about the Astral Plane, about wild space. It is beautiful out there. You can see stars and galaxies and cosmos. So I mean, half of the fun of fishing in the Astral Plane is just getting to see the sights.
Mm-hmm. I just like reel in like an old boot that was just like floating by. Just like, I guess Iker doesn't like say anything out loud, just like a few like bubbles come out and pop. And he like turns and looks at Mayor, and Mayor gets like a quick image in her head of a boot with a plant in it. And Iker kind of like holds it up like confusedly, like will that work?
Oh, hello, dearie. That does seem like it could work. Are you working on your fishing badge or your gardening badge? Because you seem to be doing a little bit of both.
Iker grins. Iker, plasmoids do not have teeth, but Iker specifically really enjoys the feeling and the sound of crunching. So Iker likes to stick spare bones and sharp objects, crystals, anything especially sharp that they can find, and they just like stick it in their goo where they have deemed their mouth to be. And so Iker opens its goo in a wide, sticky grin, revealing these teeth. Iker sets the boot down and points at an empty spot on its head. You see that there's like an array of random badges that are like stuck into their ooze, and there's a specific open spot that they like point at, and they still have not earned their astral fishing badge, but they're working on it.
Well then, I suppose I could give you a few pointers. And at this point, I guess Mayor could also do a little roll. See if they actually know what they're doing.
Yes, I would love to see that.
That's an 18. Show them how it's done.
Yes.
You see, the trick is in the wrist. You got to give it a nice little flick. Yes, little flick. Good, yes. There you go.
As we are like flicking and like looking towards the side, can I do a perception check to see if I see any like flying fish?
Let me look up that table. I do love, astral fishing. What a great idea.
All right, perception, not very good, but we'll see. A nat 20.
Nice.
Oh my
Nat
goodness.
20. I immediately spot something in the distance. Iker like looks over at Mayor, and Mayor sees red, like just like a quick image of red, which Mayor, like being around Iker, would know it's like, hey, like something important.
Mm-hmm. You see coming off from far away. First of all, Mayor does a fantastic job just going through all the basics of fishing, doing a very good job. Also including some like tips and tricks from someone who is well experienced in all things. You see like coming closer, space guppies. Lots of them, which you all have heard about, but never seen a swarm this big. It is a huge school of these fish that are coming pretty fast up upon you. And you see all around you, you start to see these space guppies. I'll bring up the image just to remind us, because it is adorable art. All these fish just floating through the air. There are definitely, 10, 20, maybe 40, all different sizes, ranging from very small, like goldfish, like to actually like huge borderline sharks or whales.
Petrie, Iker's familiar, this little goo-like monster extricates itself from the spelljamming helm and immediately flies out like into wild space to like zoom around with these guppies. Iker is absolutely mesmerized.
Well, little Icky, it looks like we're in a spot of luck. Everybody knows that swarms of space guppies are a good omen. Today's going to be a good day.
Iker continues to like scan the sky. With a nat 20, do any of the guppies look like strange or like different than the others?
You see that there is one that seems to have had like some type of technological spear that is in its side, and it has kind of like some damaged scales on that side. It seems to like kind of have to like balance itself out as it's swimming.
Red, like Mayor immediately sees red again, and they kind of like Iker kind of like zooms in and like focuses on that wounded fish. How close are we?
You are like 30 feet away. The space guppies seem to have kind of like formed around the ship and are like kind of curiously looking through it. All of you, even if you hadn't seen them before, would know that they have a decent like rumor of intelligence. Most people think that they're smarter than your average fish.
Nice. Would Speak with Animals happen to work with them?
Yes, Speak with Animals does happen to work.
Perfect. Well, then I'm gonna go ahead and cast that. Mayor's gonna cast that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because of Iker's urging, go, yes, you there, are you okay? Come here, come here.
Oh, okay.
Yes, come here.
See, it starts to go towards the ship. And just like looks at you curiously.
What happened to you? What's going on here?
I was hurt.
Yes, I can see that. Do you know what happened? Are you okay? Did something come to get you?
Oh, hunters.
Hunters.
Bad people.
Bad people. Okay. Well, switching to talk to Iker. Well, this little guy's hurt. Did you want to try and heal it? Maybe get your healer's badge.
Iker like puffs up their chest and looks. This is actually one of the perfect ways to cast this spell. Fantastic. So they reach up, and is the spear still in the side, or is it like just like a wound from a spear?
It's just like a wound. There is a little,
Okay.
if you look closely, you do see that there is like a little bit of a head that still is stuck kind of underneath a scale that's stopping it from fully healing and regrowing over that area.
Okay. So what kind of check can I do to kind of like get the spearhead out and heal them?
Yeah, medicine check for sure.
Cool.
And Mayor is helping, so could we give Iker advantage on that?
Yeah, sure. I like that.
Thank
Especially with
you.
being able to explain to this fish what is going on.
We're just
Yeah.
going to try and get that nasty thing out. We'll see what we can do.
Amazing. All right. Oh no, that's only a 9.
Poor Iker.
You pull and you do manage to get it out. As you like pull hard, it kind of actually like goes into your tentacle just a little bit. It doesn't hurt, but it just like ends up in yourself, your ooze. It does look like it hurt a little bit, and you see that it kind of like winces away, but you can see that it is like it's gonna be able to heal itself now. Now it can like fully close the wound.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
You see that it looks strangely
I
a
also-
little bit. Oh yeah.
I also have a cure wounds.
Oh.
From Magic Initiative.
Nice.
So if like, can Iker tell that it can like heal itself, and that like that's how it would prefer to heal, or would it prefer like some healing?
Mayor can ask it.
Ooh, please.
Well, dearie, are you feeling all right now, or would you like a touch of magic on that little boo-boo as well?
Magic sounds interesting.
All right, Iker, go ahead. We have medical consent. It's very important.
Iker nods, gives a gooey thumbs up, and their fingertips start to glow, and they reach out and just very lightly touch the scales of this beautiful golden guppy, and what looks like sparkly like spores kind of move through Iker's fingers to the very tips and spread over the wound, closing everything up and like cleaning up the area. And they get, let's see, 1d8 plus 4. They get 9 points of HP back.
Wonderful. You see that the scales knit together and it looks like brand new. You see that it starts to like wriggle and swim in the air much more confidently. It actually like rubs up against you, and you feel like this kind of like the scales are very smooth and soft and a little cold.
Iker reaches forward, feels the scales, kind of like wriggles a little bit, and transfers a little bit to Mayor, the feeling of like the coolness of these scales.
Mayor's also going to give them a little pat.
Yes.
All right, then, on your way. Be more careful. You know, move in a pack when you see those hunters, or let somebody know. We'll take care of them.
Wonderful. Yeah, it gives you each one last little head bonk, and then starts to swim away back into the group as they're kind of like now going past the ship a little and off into a different direction towards a different star.
Iker salutes, turns to Mayor immediately, and like looks down, points at an empty spot on Iker's chest, as Iker has definitely now earned their healing badge.
Well, yes, that was nicely done. So Mayor's going to reach into their little pack. You're going to hear a lot of little clinking sounds, very exciting, and pull out a Band-Aid shaped badge and just stick it right in. Good job. Little pat on the head. Certain wipes hand on shorts. It's a little sticky. Nicely done. You'll still have to work on the fishing, though. Maybe next time, but a badge a day is a good start.
Iker is beaming with pride. They look up and fall down Petrie because like the guppies seem like they're kind of like moving on. So Petrie comes back down and just begins to kind of like float around Iker's head. And Iker is happy, excited. What are the other members of our ship doing right now?
You look around. This is the top deck, an open deck that has some like rigging and a few sails just for very short, small maneuvers if you were to actually go into an atmosphere. And you see that there are quite a few people that you recognize. There is another one of the passengers is also a GIF. Let me find their little thing. Yes. Who is kind of like an upper crust woman who talked to you about this was like the only ship to be able to get to the spaceport that you all are going to quickly. They are sitting kind of like very nicely holding the rail, looking out at the guppies very interestedly. And you also see on the top of the deck your first mate and navigator, Lux Dawnfeather, who is a astral elf, Circle of Stars druid, obsessed with charting the stars, even as they move, just spent, you are unsure, possibly hundreds of years out in space. They seem very knowledgeable and a great navigator. They are unfortunately not paying attention to the guppies and instead have a mechanical sextant out and are actually like charting your course, making sure that there's nothing out there.
Really quickly, Iker knows that Lux like always has their head in a book, and they miss so much of the beauty of the things that they see like as they pass. So Iker like looks over, and really quickly Lux sees red, and looking up, Iker points so that they can get like one last glimpse of that beautiful pod of the golden guppies as they swim away.
It is quite beautiful, yes.
And Iker sees Lady Zala, not going to approach her because, like, I assume that there was likely a bit of a pride hit. Lady Zala, the only ship that was available to go to this specific port, was named the SS Big Boy. So, which is the name of Iker's ship. Yeah, like Iker tries to let Lux and Mayor do most of the talking when it comes to the lady, but gives her like a polite nod, and like walks over and leans up against the edge of like one of the ropes and just starts surveying what's going on.
Yeah, and as you look out across your deck and are able to see the beautiful stars and galaxies among you, our camera goes down below decks, where we see the last two members of our wonderful party, who are down below decks. You are both in the cargo hold. The hold has metal walls, and the people who picked up the crates from your last voyage managed to smash some of the metal panels before leaving. So you guys are working on repairs. Who do we see? Let's start with Snap and then go to Where.
So you'll see Snap is, well, currently he's kind of at the wall, kind of crouched. His little tail is like doing a little flick every now and again. as he's concentrating on mending these pieces. But you see a tabaxi coloring of, if anyone's familiar with cat breeds, an Abyssinian. So kind of that rusty reddish orange brown color, little cream kind of around the muzzle. His tail has just kind of towards the half end some darker striping and then a darker tip at the end. He's wearing a little headband, and his clothes are nothing. It's a little mismatched. It's not like, he doesn't care too much about looking good. It's what he has. It's comfortable, but he's got a kind of like a little aviator jacket, some cargo pants, belt full of little side bags and things, and you could probably see little things sticking out of his pockets and whatnot, little tools or whatever. Yeah, and so he's just kind of just nitpicking at this one spot, really kind of flesh out the piece that he's working on.
Wonderful. And where? Who do we see?
So where is an autognome? So they are like constructs, so they look like they're made of metal. Their skin, or not really skin, is a sort of bronzy color. They've got sort of very robotic lens-y eyes that are like vibrant green, and then on the rest of them it's mostly bronze, and there's some like bright purple highlights. They're wearing a like spacesuit, so like pretty comfortable, nothing like crazy about it except it's got a lot of pockets, and like they have like stuff everywhere in case people need things. And around them is flying their familiar, whose name is who's a little hummingbird, who's like flying around and helping as we're trying to like mend the panels and things. Where is using like mending magic, so there's like these colorful sparkles that go on the panels to sort of straighten them out, and whom is like carrying around screws because it's a hummingbird, it cannot carry anything heavy, to like assist in the ways that they can, and it's just sort of around as they work on the hold.
Wonderful. Do you guys, as you work, do you interact at all, or are you both focused on your jobs?
I think Snap at the moment is probably, if you're familiar, whom is willing to help, as you said, get pieces and things, it's kind of just occasionally, calling out for like bolt, washer, screw, and and like just still focus on the wall, but putting a paw out, of like just waiting for it, and then goes back to doing what he's doing. So he's usually, when he's working on something, is very focused. If you look closely, like I said, his little tail kind of twitches, his little whiskers go as he's like thinking. But he's not super talkative. And like I said, especially when he's working, he's just kind of got one goal, to get it done. Unless spoken to, he'll of course engage in conversation.
Ware is paying a lot of attention to Snap, like, because Ware is like very aware of like what's around them and like wants to help people and has to tell Whom what to go get every time because Whom is a bird and doesn't speak common. And Ware is also like kind of close by, and like every time you like make a mess is prestidigitating it gone without saying anything. I don't even know if you noticed, but I'm like stealth prestidigitating. Like cleaning up behind you and also doing my thing, and like the birds flying around, and eventually I'm like, you need anything else?
I don't believe so. And as I kind of finish the one piece I'm working on, I kind of stand up, look back, tilt head, and like tail does a little like slow little wisp, and like, any other areas that need tending to?
Go ahead and make both of you make either investigation, perception, or a tech check, which we will include in this game because, as we've said, non-magical technology will be a big part of this campaign.
I'm gonna try tech, and hopefully I entered it incorrectly.
Wonderful.
where, though they are a construct, is not good at investigating the text.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So we
Oh.
have. Oh,
Can
go
I
on.
just add? Sorry. I just remembered the for my class that's a crit, right? The 19.
Yes, for attacks.
Or is it just for attacks? Okay,
Yes.
my bad.
I believe, but let me check real quick. But
It
while
probably is. It
we're
makes more
doing
sense.
this, if you guys want to tell the audience what your scores were.
Sorry. Total of 23.
And I got a 25 perception.
Lovely.
We're very good at looking for broken things.
Yes, I mean you guys are great at your jobs. Yes, your weapon attacks score a critical hit.
Okay. I was so excited for a second.
Very cool. Still outrageous rolls. So no worries. Yes. You guys are doing a great job looking over this wall, like very methodically. You have done the vast majority, but you see behind one of the crates that there is a panel that is like dented hard enough it reveals the area underneath it. And as you both kind of like see this at the same time and walk over to it, you notice a couple things that are unusual about it. You see that, first of all, underneath the metal, it's actually like everything else was just stuff that needed to be put back. This is like on a structural level. Part of it is taken forward. And you see that underneath is not like the metal hold that you might have been expecting of like steel girders and such, but is these like long brown, very thick interwoven vines that hold together a wall of crystal. And two, inside this like these interwoven vines is something that is faintly glowing. It looks like a kind of chest, a briefcase, maybe about 2 feet by 1 foot. It is, yeah, it's covered in like electrical symbols and little metallic pathways.
Can
Go ahead.
Can I cast detect magic to see if it's magic?
Yes, go ahead.
I think it just happens. But
yes. You cast detect magic, and what you find is that the outer case is completely technological in nature. Has absolutely no magic to it, but it seems like there might be something magic inside of it.
I think Snap in this moment would just like not be looking but not touching and kind of be like, something in the inner workings, not part of design, something different, shouldn't touch. Captain or first hand?
Probably Captain. Maybe this is where they hide their like briefcase of magic.
Quite possible. Strange location. Yes.
Pretty well hidden.
Very, very true. Does a little scratch and I'm like,
Before we go find the captain, can I see if it messed with the vines? Like do a nature check?
Yeah, for sure.
That's a 21.
Ooh. You find when you look something very interesting, which is that these vines have an inherent natural magic to them, and it has affected the vines in a way that whoever put this in here had some like magical symbiosis with these vines to be able to have it like grow really nicely around the case so that it can be pulled out easily, but it's also like securely in the wall.
Oh, the captain looks like it's part of the ship.
interesting. Have looked at layout blueprints. Was not included.
If it's secret, it wouldn't be.
Quite. You up to captain. I will watch, and I kind of just take a stance and look at it.
I leave the room to keep you company and go find the captain.
Lovely. Yeah, you make your way through these metallic corridors up in onto the open deck, and you see Mayor and Iker there.
Iker's just leaned back again, trying their darndest to fish. Can I do one more survival check?
Yeah.
Come on. That's a darn 10. Iker has been struggling to get this badge, I'm going to say, for a month. Like, they can't.
The flick. You have to flick.
Yeah. And Iker's just practicing. Like, as Ware walks up, they just see, like, Iker's hand. And like Iker, like the goo around the wrist, as Iker gets a little frustrated, just kind of like stretches a little far. So it's just swishing all around as Ware walks up.
Amazing.
Ware's gonna walk up and not say anything and wait till you acknowledge them. I'm just gonna stand there.
Oh, Iker looks over, sees Ware. One of the only people on the ship that Iker does not have to look up to. So looks directly over to Ware, and just nods, waves, sets the fishing pole just down and away from their sight. And Iker looks over at you. Cocks their head.
Ware goes, sorry to interrupt. Snap and I found your secret wall briefcase.
Secrets?
Do you want us to leave it there or like cover it up, or do you need that right now?
And Iker, you have never seen or heard of anything like this in all your modifications.
Iker is nervous. Iker looks over and nods and like immediately moves to like follow Ware.
Yes, Mayor is nosy and is coming as well.
Okay. I lead the way back downstairs.
Yes.
The clipboard has come back out.
You make your way back downstairs and see Snap just staring at it.
Okay. Can I do?
Captain, we do think it's magic.
It is magic. Okay. So
Hearing them come down though, I'll turn around.
Sorry?
Like, Captain. Suitcase in wall. Curious.
Iker
Curious indeed.
walks up and kind of like squints. Well, doesn't really squint because Iker does not have eyeballs. But Iker perceives the suitcase in the wall. Can I do like a tech check or an insight check to try to like see if this is removable?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For sure.
All right, investigation. Okay, so that's a 16.
Wonderful. You look at it. It definitely looks very easily removable. In an odd way, it resembles how like car radios you used to be able to just like take it out and take it with you. So you're able, if you wanted to, you could easily take it out. You also recognize that this is definitely something that seems to have been like specially placed here by maybe a previous owner of your ship.
And like it seems to be doing like good or doing harm or like not affecting the area around it.
It doesn't seem to be affecting the area around it. It's not like connected to the vines. It's just like perfectly wrapped up amongst them.
Then yeah, Iker does not like this. Iker does not like someone having this object being out for anyone to just get. So Iker is going to try to take it out. What kind of check is that going to be?
You are able, it actually like slides out perfectly just as you take it out. It is made to be removed.
Iker slides it out.
Is this your first aid kit? Could have come in handy earlier.
Iker sees, like, Iker is really, like, if anyone wants to do an insight check on Iker,
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yes.
you are
Mayor still
welcome to
thinks
do
this is
so.
yours.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's a 10. Mayor probably
Okay.
still thinks it's yours.
Where got a 15?
Where got a 15? Okay. Where sees Iker sweating a bit, like Iker's like goo is very trembly. They are obviously discomforted while holding this box, and they, like, Iker's not normally a very, like, uncomfortable person to be around, even being a gooey person, even this weird, creepy little guy. He is overall very mood neutral. And in this moment, you see Iker truly not chill, not okay, and seemingly almost suspicious of you all, like, around him, just, like, really, like, holding the box really close. Honestly, yeah, Iker's immediately gonna and just shove the whole thing into their goo to hold for later, because they are not about to open this right now in front of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're going to hide secrets, you should hide them much better than that. You know, if you're going to be so embarrassed, keep it somewhere else. Your cabin, you know, your room, perhaps. Not out here.
Well, the ship seemed to be very successful.
Iker nods, like, vehemently at that idea, actually goes ahead and, like, tosses their captain's hat off and their boots, and, like, steps, like, around the corner. You hear, like, a slurping sound, and Where and Snap, you've been working on the ship a while. At one point, you've probably noticed that there are some random pipes that are just throughout the ship. Like, there are plumbing pipes, but these are specifically not connected to anything that, like, you know of as to be, like, a source of water or anything. You suspect that the captain might use them to get around, like, really quickly, because Iker can squeeze themselves to fit within an inch.
And is that what you're doing, Iker? Are you like...
Iker, oh yeah, that's right, because I have the box. I can't do it with the box.
No, I love that. Wait, no, it has to be the scene, though. Is that Iker, like, is his reaction?
Absolutely, yeah.
Iker
is super panicked. Iker would definitely still do this.
Yes.
But yeah, like,
and then
Iker,
as you
like,
dive into the pipe, it is actually, like, very fascinating to watch for the rest of you. Iker, like, completely changed form, and you can tell that, like, their form is really just, like, what they're using to, like, interact with you, but they can be anything that they want to be. And as they, like, zoom through, the pipe is unfortunately only about a foot wide, which is just enough that it, like, gets kind of stuck right at the opening of the pipe. This briefcase, Iker goes a little bit past before you notice that you've gone past it.
I'm gonna say, like, for the story, that Iker, being panicked, was going as fast as they could. So Iker probably zooms, and you all hear, like, that squelching noise, and then something pop back from the pipe. And if you round the corner, you will see just whatever, like, the little arcane thing sitting by itself in just a small pile of ooze.
Yep. Definitely walked over there.
Yep. Where's gonna go pick it up?
Yep.
Amazing.
This probably shouldn't be on the floor. And
I'll
prestidigitate it on Uzi.
I hand you, like, a little handkerchief to wipe off the excess ooze.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wonderful. You guys clean it off. It is bright and shining. It is made of platinum, it seems to be. It's like it's an interesting box in that it seems to have this like insane technological lock mechanism that you are able to like now tell, especially Snap, who I think here has the most experience with technology, that all these like metal veins running throughout are the locking mechanism to keep all the sides of the case like perfectly locked. But it has this like platinum. It's definitely like beautiful, probably expensive, honestly. For those of you that care about money, as you look at this, it has that vibe of being fancy and probably very expensive.
I'm just gonna be still looking at it and just say like, appears many locks to keep closed. We'll have to investigate this further. May take a few days to get open.
Well,
I'm pretty good with locks.
open it up, you know?
Should we wait for the captain to come back?
No, actions have consequences. The pipe system was clever, but that decision making was not, and unfortunately, this is going to be how they learn.
Mare is now the next person in authority, so Mare's gonna be like, sure, I'm gonna try and be the boss.
I think Snap looks over and is just like, trial and error. Yes, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But Mare will call out, Icky, come back here! We're opening up your box!
Icky is flying as fast as he can. Iker realized, like, as they squirted out into their captain's quarters, they realized they had like all their crystals and their knickknacks and their trinkets, but the book is bigger than a foot. So Iker is speeding back and probably like pops out just as like if anyone is gonna try to like open any of the locks or anything, probably just as like everyone else has gotten to do what they want to do.
Yeah. Do you want to make a lockpicking check?
I can do that.
Where?
I will do that. That works. Oh, I'm gonna use my feature that gives me an extra D4.
Okay.
So I rolled a 4 and got an 8. So an extra D4 will give me 11 total.
Nice.
Nice.
As you begin working on it, you like are able to make out that there seems to be like one big like gear piece that seems to be like maybe the first part of it. You take your tools and you start to move it. You don't quite get it unlocked, but you are able to like move it to a place, and it seems like there might be like multiple locking steps to this case. You are able to move it, and it starts to glow a bit brighter, and now you see some like symbols and lines on it that weren't visible before.
Careful, activating something. Could be a trap.
Do we recognize the symbols?
Sure. Anybody that would like to can do a history check.
Definitely.
Oh, yes.
It's a 19 for Mare.
A 12 for Snap.
And 19 for where?
Mm-hmm. Is Iker doing a check?
Yes, Iker pops out and looks around, sees that the box is already being examined and opened. Iker reads the room and does a check. What kind of check?
History.
History. All right, not Iker's best. 17.
Not bad.
Nice.
Not bad.
I will say that with 19s, both Ware and Mare, you haven't had too much experience, either of you, but you've definitely in passing seen Ziltreth technology. And this definitely seems to have like the signature of Ziltreth, which is also called the Co-Nexus. It is a conglomeration of just a ton of the most successful and richest corporations across the known galaxy.
Sorry, can you say, you said Ziltreth and what else? What was the second thing you said?
Oh, the Co-Nexus. It's also referred to as the Co-Nexus. This is like might be arguably the biggest intergalactic corporation, or not corporation, but even organization, entity. The Space Scouts, to which Mayor belongs to, are pretty far-reaching, but they're not like huge in number. There is the UAH, which is kind of like a peacekeeping organization that spans different solar systems and galaxies. But Ziltreth is the one that basically owns whole solar systems across this galaxy.
Yeah. And I would assume this is something that the Space Scouts would be opposed to.
Yes, you definitely recognize it with your history of kind of confrontations with Ziltreth. You recognize.
Okay, well, under the assumption that this is Icar's box, Mayor's gonna immediately turn to Icar and be like, Icar! What are you doing with this box? Are you in contact with them?
Icar like waves their hands no. Remind me, does Mayor speak common sign language?
I want to say yes.
Okay. Yeah, we can say that.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
let's just say yes for now. Okay, so Icar, in needing this like direct communication, in all dealings of miscommunication, usually uses common sign language. So Icar forms their goo into digits. And begins to sign to Mayor. No, not mine. This is very confusing for me, as I'm not sure who hid this in my ship.
Wow.
I am like, well, no, that's not a lie. Just kidding. So yes, because Icar does not know who hid this in the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So, but knowing that it is connected to the Connexus, like it looks like they designed the locks or also the suitcase itself.
I would say yes. It seems to be the whole case itself. And as you guys are talking it out about this like Ziltreth thing, you hear a voice that is magically projected throughout the ship. It is a familiar voice. It is Lux Dawnfeather. You hear, "Attention, all crew! Please come up to the deck. There is something that needs to be seen."
Oh, we are needed. Up top.
Mayor's gonna grab the case. I'll be keeping track of this. You lost it earlier. You cannot be trusted.
Snap looks over at the still giant hole in the wall, and like his tail does this like little irritated twitch of like, that's still there. We still need to handle that. Okay. And
Icar nods. Did they say that everyone had to go up?
They did call upon the crew.
Okay, cool. Then Icar, like looks over at Snap, and nods and looks at the hole. Like it can be handled later. Icar hustles over, puts their hat and boots back on, eyes the case again. That's for later. And then heads up.
Wonderful. You guys head up to the top deck. You see that Lux Dawnfeather has brought out this kind of like big glass screen, and that kind of looks like it's on how like old-fashioned chalkboards, how you can wheel them around, and wheels it up to one of the railings, and kind of like uses their fingers as we would to like zoom, and you see through it a kind of at first you're like, oh, it's just another space guppy, but it seems pretty far off from the rest of that guppy swarm that is long gone by now. And as it's getting closer and closer, you see that there are two figures on this ship, or on this fish that are coming towards you at an okay rate, as you're moving. Lux Dawnfeather has kind of slowed down the ship to see what is about.
Can I look over at Lux and just ask distress call?
No, not yet, but it seems I don't assume that we're in the middle of space. I suppose I would guess they would need help.
Iker moves forward, examines what's going on. Iker, truly, their mind is mostly on the case. But they reach out. They feel the prickly feeling, pull on the spell jamming helm, and they look around. Does it look like they are aware, like they see us?
Mm-hmm.
And they're heading away.
Well, but now we can move back. Aster and Helionyx, you both see the ship. It's not too far away. Maybe you're like 5-10 minutes out if the space guppy keeps going along this board. It's been at this point, again, hard to tell coming out of the astral sea, but maybe a week or two of you guys just on this guppy. You have just now, maybe in the last few hours, come out into wild space, and are trying to. You kind of haven't gotten your. What is the word for that? But you don't know where you are, essentially, right now. You haven't gotten your bearings yet as to where you are in wild space. But the first thing that you see when you come out of the astral sea is this ship.
Oh, hey. It's a ship.
Oh yeah. Do you think they're nice, or do you think they're bad?
One way to find out, I guess.
There's multiple ways to find out, but are we going to talk to them?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we can if we get there.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, we're pretty close. I think this guy might pass him by. We can, hop off.
Okay. Do you do that a lot?
Whenever it calls for it.
Cool. I'd like to say that Helionyx is doing that awkward like motorcycle hug when you're sitting behind someone on a.
Perfect.
Have you been doing that the whole like week or however long?
Yes. Just like.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know why you'd want to get off the guppy, but we can go to that ship if you want to.
It's the first thing we've seen in a while. Might be fun to check it out.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
Yeah, you said you were out here for a while. Might be nice to see some other people, too.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, we can try to see if they're friendly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we get close enough that I can, see someone on the ship, I would like to cast message.
Oh, yes.
That would probably be a little while because I think it's a pretty short range, but.
Yeah. But yeah, you are getting closer, and you are starting to like make out the shapes of our party here, and also that of an astral elf standing in front of this large glass pane. It would take you about like 5 minutes to get within range to message. Is there anything that the party on the ship is doing in this time?
Iker, once they get close enough, Iker is immediately going to put in an image in Aster's mind, because Aster seems to be driving the guppy. You see what looks like a tiny little goo creature that kind of pops up, very similar to Clippy on Microsoft Word. Just pops up in the forefront of your mind and is like, "Hello, do you need any help today?"
I do love that. It will. I think the message will happen closer because I believe your telepathic bond is 30 feet, right?
Oh, okay.
So it will. It might take a little bit, but I absolutely love that. We will definitely come back to that because it's amazing. But yes, is there anything you do in that 5 minutes before either of your spells are able to get close or features are able to get close enough?
I think Mayor would have one of the crew just run the box to Iker's like cabin space, so
okay,
it's like
yes.
out of the way.
The only other crew here is Lux, who's just looking at it curiously. But
the
she
Mayor
will
would just take it
if you want.
Where would also take it for you?
Okay. Here, Where can you take this and put it in the captain's space?
Yeah. So Where will leave the whom with the group and then go back and then come back.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Okay.
Welcome. Anytime.
But yes, we will say I think that is such a fun thing that yes, Iker. So then you get close enough. You are just about to message Aster, and you hear Iker. If you wanted to repeat what you said, because it was perfect.
I can't remember exactly, but just this super like high voice. And this like gooey creature is a bit horrifying, has like tiny bits of like bones and like a tiny skull floating in it. But contrary to its appearance, its voice seems super helpful. And it calls out, "Hi, do you need any help today?"
Do I see this creature in my head?
In your mind. Yes.
In my
he's
mind.
floating in your mind. Yes. Kind of like we'll say like as you're just like looking, it's almost like a little like hologram like appears in front of you, like there. Suddenly you're not sure how, but you see this thing.
Yes. Another important thing to remember too is that while Iker has the ability to telepathically like send out information, you can't like read people's minds or hear their talk, so you might need either Aster to message or to just speak out loud to be able to hear.
So sorry, I should have made that a little more clear. So the reason that Petrie is appearing is because Petrie can actually fly and span the distance
okay. So you're sending Petrie out.
Yes, and like Petrie can also like as I cast this, Petrie could, like, if they couldn't cast message back, they could talk to Petrie directly as well.
Okay, wonderful. Perfect. Yeah,
Who
that's
the
what you
fuck
hear.
are
How
you?
Yeah.
I'll try to like poke the picture that I see in my mind a little bit, like.
Yeah, it's just nothing. And also specifically, Helionics, you don't see this. Only Aster does. You say you need help. And in response to you saying that, like, yes, like, hi, you would probably see like a visible hole open in the air bubble covering the open deck of the ship, gesturing for you to come in.
So you asked if we need help?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Helionics, do you see this shit?
No, I see you poking the air. Are you okay?
No, it's right.
No, you
it's right
see
there.
it too. It's a real. This is not a vision. This is Petrie. The
talking one. The talking one is Petrie, but sorry. The talking one is a vision. Petrie is Petrie is my familiar, so like I can like hear through Petrie himself. Mm-hmm. So Petrie is not actively actually talking to them. I just made that like a cute little thing for the vision part.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it confusing.
No, I'm just trying to make sure, like, trying to figure out how you're able to talk, but it's totally fine. We will figure this out as we go, because as we will learn, communication in wild space is very difficult, as if there is an air bubble around the space guppy as soon as you guys came into the astral plane, or into wild space, but there is no air between the ship and you guys. So the only reason I'm making a big deal out of all of this is that there's no air to carry sound. So you wouldn't actually be able to like talk to each other until you are literally like right next to each other, unless you have magical means to do so.
I'm gonna leave it with the open hole because I keep saying wrong things.
No,
where is the open hole?
Into like the space around the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
She's
so
being
it's
invited
not,
into our
still...
bubble.
Okay. I think they want us to come on board. I haven't figured out if they're friendly, but we can just go on and figure that out.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
No,
you
don't sound very sure.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I just don't. I mean, what if these people? I mean, if it's a whole ship of people and they try to kill us, we can't really escape, can we?
Okay. Hold on. Here, I'm just gonna roll a d4 to decide who to message. That's one. I'll message Snap, because you're the first one on that list.
All right.
So I'll just point at the tabaxi looking fellow, and I'll say, how many of you are there, and are you going to try to kill us?
I don't think it's been very often that Snap has received a message that way. So it's a little like he does a slight foof along like his back and tail when he hears it, at being startled. So I can respond.
Yes.
To that. Okay.
You can respond to this message.
Curious. Message. We are friendly, willing to help, if trouble, for yourself and companion.
Good enough for me.
Okay.
They said they're friendly.
Cool.
Let's go. Hey, buddy. I think we might be. I think this might be our stop. But thanks for the journey. It's been a real pleasure. And I guess we'll just try to get off the guppy.
Enough. Your air bubbles kind of combine as you get close enough, and you instantly, the guppy like can smell like there's kind of the vines are able to like circulate some air and make it kind of fresh in there, but it also has kind of like a metallic smell to all these metal modifications on the ship. You guys are now all on board.
Hello.
Hi.
It's
And
it's a
Snap will
pleasure to meet all of
recognize
you.
the sound of your voice.
Yeah.
You sent message?
Yes. Thank you for confirming that you are in fact friendly. I appreciate
Of course. I am Snap. And this is the crew.
Hello, I'm Mayor.
I'm Where.
And we have our Captain.
That one there's the captain, wearing the captain's hat.
It is wonderful to meet all of you. You know, I'm Aster. This is Helionyx.
Hi. Hi.
What were you doing on that guppy? Are you okay?
Oh yeah, we're fine. You know, just getting from one place to another. Guess this is where we are now.
No immediate needs of medicine, help, nothing.
No?
You know, I am actually. I feel like I haven't eaten in years. Do you have any food?
You
Food,
guys have
sustenance,
bunches of food.
yes.
No?
Do we have any like specific chef per se, or do we just all help ourselves to what's on board?
You do
I
not
make
have a
mean
chef.
mac and cheese.
Yeah, go ahead. You do have a kitchen, for sure. You have a mess hall.
Do you want mac and cheese, children?
That sounds delightful, actually.
All right, I'll make us all some mac and cheese so we can all get acquainted over dinner. Come to the kitchen. All right, everybody has to help. We need to chop things. That's what we do. Come on.
Excuse, ma'am. I seem to need to bring attention to a slight allergy to milk.
Milk allergy, I say. All right. Let's see.
I
Maybe
will.
not mac
I will
and cheese,
find my own snack. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I could also offer you some mac and mac. No cheese involved.
Wet noodles.
Yes, wet noodles indeed. Maybe a little salt. Yes, good.
You know, I've
Garlic
actually
butter?
had that before. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Very
yes.
underrated, I think.
Come along then to the kitchen.
We follow Mare to the kitchen. I'll take up the rear.
Helionyx is just silently just staring at everything. This is the most light and people they have seen in like a while, and they're just like as close to Aster as possible without actually touching Aster. Just like,
You okay there?
fine, I'm fine. A lot. This is a lot, but I'm fine.
Okay. You know, after a while, you kind of get used to coming in and out of isolation and lots of people. You know, it's a big universe out there. There's big pockets of nothing and big pockets of everything. So,
You're so wise.
Do I notice how uncomfortable Helionyx is? Is it being like, are you making that kind of an obvious?
I think it's pretty
Uncomfortable
obvious with how
Okay,
they
okay.
generally.
Okay. I'm just going to kind of casually and eerily quietly step up beside you, and as I'm doing so, I'm digging through just a particular little satchel that I have, and I pull out what is more or less a shoddily put together fidget spinner, if you will, and I grab your hand and I just kind of put it in your hand, like, here, spin this. It's just a little metal doodad that you can. I'd like to say that he made it at some point.
This is
Calms the mind.
Oh,
did you make that?
Yes, I have
That's
made
pretty
lots,
cool.
and I kind of open up the satchel, and there's a bunch of different like little made metal toys and things that are in the one satchel.
Nice.
This is nice. You said your name was Snap? Is that what
Snap.
you said?
Snapping
Snap.
Branch, full name. Go by Snap.
Helionyx. Farstep is my name, and I just go by Helionyx, or Helio, or Onyx, or I've been called a lot of things. You can call me whatever you want.
Many names. Pleasure.
Okay, yeah. And they're just gonna play with the fidget spinner and just sort of.
Is Aster wearing like lots of like colorful, like you said, lots of jewelry and things?
Oh yeah, like all sorts of like bent pieces of scrap metal as rings and like different bits of tech as like repurposed into like a brooch or something. Like you can tell that it's been like scavenged from all over wild space in the astral sea, and it all looks like very shoddily handmade, but made with love. So
Okay, so
Yeah.
Boom is gonna go over and start like hummingbird looking at all of your things, like going to one, going to the other, going to the other, and generally
Nice.
being in the way.
Wonderful.
Just be, oh, sorry, that is whom. They're just like shiny things.
oh, you know,
Please
it's
don't
all
feed
good.
any to them.
Oh, don't feed any. Aster's in the process of like taking off a ring and about to give it to them. Don't feed it.
No, he's an actual bird.
Okay. So if I give this to him, he'll eat it.
Yeah, he's also a dumb bird.
Okay, I'll put this back on.
Sounds like most birds I know.
I don't know. I've met some pretty smart birds.
Many birds are quite intelligent species.
It's
you
all
say
the flying. It's all his brain is just for the flying.
Hmm. Well, here you go. Here's your mac and cheese. And mac for you, Snap, of course. Where do you like cheese, or do you care what you eat?
I'm good. I don't really need to eat.
Are you
should give it
sure
to the
I made
sushi
this?
people.
I made this for all of us to eat.
Can I do a wisdom save to see how intimidated I am?
Go ahead.
I guess I'm okay. No. You should eat it. It's good. You're squishy and need
Alright then, alright. Mayor continues doling out food while muttering about how underappreciated they are.
Snap is looking around for a bowl of wet noodles.
Here's your mac for you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome.
And like kind of looks at it, and Snap doesn't generally use like utensils or anything, so just kind of grabs a little bit and bit bland, but sustenance nonetheless. And he continues to eat, but just like a little bit at a time.
Aster will take a bite of some mac and cheese and be like, delicious. Haven't had a home-cooked meal in I don't even know how long.
Helionyx is gonna take the bowl and just sort of hesitantly take a bite, and then as soon as they taste it, they're just gonna like eat it as fast as possible. And they are crying a little bit. They haven't had like a food made for them in a long time.
See, these two over here, they were raised right. That's what you're supposed to do.
Just to
Seeing this
cry.
out of the corner of his eye, Snap's just gonna not directly look at you, but just kind of mutter, careful, aspiration pneumonia. Could be a thing.
Where is just going to be confused by the concept of being raised.
Where could you be a dear and get a blanket for the crying one? They seem quite traumatized. I don't know what happened to them out there, but they probably need a little blanket. That'll do.
Yeah, they've been kind of like this since I found them, so...
You found them? Where? Like a little kitten? Just
What?
picked it up?
I mean, if that's the analogy you want to make, then I guess.
What analogy would you make?
I hadn't really thought about it. I just found them, and, you know, they came along for the ride.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
going to go get a
Astral-
blanket and heat it up with prestidigitation and then be like a dryer blanket.
Can I also actually just quickly cast Calm Emotions on Helionyx?
Yeah, definitely.
Honestly,
I can't
they should be,
remember,
like,
does it require a
catatonic.
save?
It does require a save.
Yes.
A
And I
charisma
believe
save.
it's area effect too, if I remember correctly. So it will work for everyone, I think, if I'm correct.
It is, and mostly trying to do it for Helionyx, but I'm just gonna.
So
do
you
it
said it's a
regardless.
charisma
Yes.
saving throw? So
Yeah.
I rolled a
Yes.
15, but I got a 12.
I got an 11.
Mayor got a 12.
Oh, is it for? Okay, I'm sorry. For everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
No worries.
Hold on one second.
Everyone in a 20-foot radius, which is pretty much most of the
Pretty
deck
much.
of the
I got a
Of the
14.
Okay, so my save is 14, so if you rolled lower than that, then your emotions are calmed.
All right.
So what about
let go
Iker?
of their grudge.
At this point, I think it would be a good time for me to roll stealth to see if anyone notices that Iker is not here.
Oh,
Ooh. I thought you were quiet.
anybody who has tell me your first let's do the roll. What'd you get?
15.
15. Everybody look at your passive perceptions. Does anyone have a passive over 15?
Nope.
Ooh, okay. So both
Hey.
I do.
Aster and Ware, you noticed, when was it that Iker tried to leave?
Iker would have slipped off at the point that Helionyx and Aster like hit the deck and all of like the kerfuffle was happening. Everyone was like making sure that Helionyx was okay, and like Mayor offered to cook. And as everyone moved, that's when Iker would have moved as well, but to go to their quarters.
As you guys are cleaning up and stuff like that, or eating, I should say, both Ware and Aster, you notice. I think that means that did one person pass your check, Aster, for calm emotions? I think it was just Snap, who is not calmed.
Oh yeah, no, I did not calm down apparently.
Snap cannot calm.
Okay.
I rolled a 14, so I think that's how it works.
Yeah,
right? I was right at that. Yeah.
So everyone else is pretty calm except for you.
Yes. However you want to be.
Yeah.
You are unaffected. But the rest of you, what does Aster do to cast this spell, and what is it like? How do they feel? What do they experience?
I'll probably just put my hand on Helionyx's shoulder because I'm kind of focusing it on them. But then as the spell kind of like goes outward, it looks kind of like, I don't really know how to describe it, sort of like invisible waves, kind of like on a really hot day when you can see like the heat waves.
Yes.
So it's like very subtle and like just kind of invisibly wafting, out in the area of the spell. And then if you failed, you just kind of suddenly like just feel like, not to get to, I don't know what we can say here, but like when the weed just hits and you're just like, oh yeah, that's nice. I'm doing good.
Yes. Yeah, that's how Ware and Mir and Helionyx all feel. Yeah. Go ahead. And yeah, at this moment, Aster and Ware, you just casually notice that Iker is no longer with you.
Yeah, Ware doesn't care.
Love it.
Was that captain of yours? Were they busy? I don't know. I feel like I didn't really get to properly meet them.
They're very important and busy.
Oh, Iker, they probably went for the box. Gosh
What?
darn it. I should have kept it. This is what I get. I thought they could be trusted. I was so disappointed.
Amazing.
Earlier, damage to the cargo hold revealed strange box within the walls. We removed the box. Iker seems very interested.
If it turns out our little Icky is allied with Nexus out, I don't know what I'll do. It'll just break my poor little heart.
Pass.
Yeah, as this is happening, you see that as you guys started to talk, Lux Dawnfeather just started to go back to their navigation and checking the stars around you, and you see that they start to point. And as they do, you see a ship appear coming out of faster than light travel. It is huge. Let me find my thing. I got lost in y'all's amazing role play for a second. Wonderful. You see a large ship. It is completely metallic. It looks like a rocket. It has all of these laser cannons that are starting to heat up and move and are aiming towards you. It is about few thousand feet away at this point. You see a projection of this like ball of silver shoots towards you, enters your air bubble, and as it does, it stops in its tracks, brings up a hologram, and you see two astral elves in this holographic picture. And you see a little thing at the bottom that says their rank and title of Thana Kiradon and Ken Zilnor. You see the woman say, "Attention, all those aboard the ship, the SX Final Frontier, now under the false name SS Big Boy, by order 4213, we are conducting a formal arrest of the crew of this ship and declare the right to confiscate it. Do you accept our order and allow us on board, or do we have to take you by force?" And that...
Oh, can I just add one quick reaction? I'm so sorry.
Yes. Yes.
Snap folds his ears back and lets out a hiss at the screen.
Love it. Yes. And that is where we are going to end our first episode, and we will start back up right at the end of this hologram's message. So much fun. We will see you in the next episode. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.